Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Let's Play hier auf dem Kanal. Wir spielen All That Remains, a story about a child's future. Und die Musik ist so wunderschön. Und ich glaube, wir fangen einfach mal an. Psst.
Dear Diary, my name is Chloe. I'm 10 years old, and this is my story. I live in Stratford, a small town in Canada near Toronto, with my parents. I'm currently going to a school here in our city, but next school year, I will have to go to a new school. Then I'm going into the 5th grade. Actually, I am very happy, but my mother doesn't think so nice. She's always worried about me, and as much as I try to take her worry away, I just don't know what to do. But that was not the only change in my life.
It's time for bed, darling.
Yes, I'm already in. Mom? Mom? But that was just the beginning of the story.
Und ich glaube, Chloe ist gerade eingeschlafen und wir befinden uns in ihren Träumen. Und meine Güte, sieht das schön aus. Wie schön das ist. Wir schauen uns einfach mal ein bisschen um. Wie wunderschön. Wegweiser, Schule, Geburtstage, Liebe. Ich würde sagen, wir fangen mal mit der Schule an. Wir gehen einfach mal los und schauen, was es hier zu entdecken gibt. Oh mein Gott, ist das schön. Man traut sich auch gar nicht laut zu reden, weil es so still und beruhigend ist. Oh, Mann, 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 ist das schön. Wir gehen einfach mal den Weg entlang. Unter dem Meer der Millionen von Sternen. Und sie leiten uns vielleicht den Weg dorthin, wo wir hin sollen. Links und rechts von uns ein Blumenmeer. Das Rauschen des Wassers und eine Bank.
The stars seem brighter now than they did before. I never thought that life could be much more. Let's run away together, just you and I. Just take my hand, together we can fly. Life will take us many paths, it's our choice which one we choose. But maybe if we follow our hearts, we can make it through. We can go anywhere, follow roads we know, or discover new places as we go.
Oh, Entschuldigung. Singen kann sie auch, sehr schön. Umschauen konnte ich mich jetzt nicht dabei. Und der Mond schaut auf uns herab, sieht uns zu. und passt auf uns auf. Und wir folgen einfach den Weg weiter, lauschen dem Rauschen des Wassers. Und da vorne ist irgendwas. Das schauen wir uns mal an. Was ist denn hier? Die Schule.
Nobody cares about anybody in my current school. That's how it's been for 4 years now. It feels like a school for dummies. So I'm excited to see what this new school will bring. Well, here we go. It's time for 5th grade. I'm not sure if I'm excited. I used to be super pumped for every new grade, but I have no idea what the new school will be like. The school seems nice, I think. It has good decorations, and I really like the drawings. I wonder what the teachers are like. My old teachers always thought I was stupid. I think they didn't know how much ahead of them I was. The teachers here are fine, I guess. Everything is so easy, though. I would want to stay home and read something instead 100 times over. Math is fun and pretty easy. My teacher, Mrs. Cobalt, thinks that it's a challenge for me, but I always give her the assignment before she even finishes talking. They don't give a lot of homework, but when they do, I finish it in class. History is a bit interesting, mainly because we don't do anything. We have art class, where everybody makes whatever they want. I started working on a pencil drawing, so every day during that time, I continue it. Well, it's fine. Not that bad so far. 5th grade is easy and pretty short. They gave us 15 math questions to solve during the summer, but I finished everything on the first day. 6th grade is the last year of elementary school. My new friend Emma is struggling with math, so I help her. A few of the other kids say I'm a nerd that likes school. I don't like school, I just don't struggle as much. During spring, this school has a special fair. They decorate every building and put out games and shops around the school. It's nice that they do it. I wish my old school did things like that. They now prepare us for the end of the year test with every subject we learned. It sounds scary, but I'm sure I'll be all right. Tom, Emma's friend, can't remember long division. I promised to help him, so he gave me a piece of gum in return. I think I can open a black market of things like that, selling private classes in return for candy. Maybe I'll do it next year, because I don't think the kids in this grade like me that much. As expected, the test is easy, at least for me. After this summer, I'm finally starting middle school, 7th grade, and wow, things are different. It's at a different place, a 10-minute drive from my home. We study physics now, and on top of everything else, history has tests now. History never had tests. Art classes are gone, unfortunately. My teachers are the worst. I think they don't like it when I already know what they're teaching. Some of them yell at me for saying the answer when I'm not supposed to. I don't think that black market idea would work anymore. History is awful. Why do I need to remember these names of people who died 100 years ago? These things have no relation to us. It's not practical. I'm so confused. I got a B- on my history test. That's the worst I've ever got on any test in my life. My mom doesn't care too much, but that's upsetting to me. I'll start studying more. In one word, middle school is a mess. Everyone is so loud all the time. They care about things they never cared about before. I'm glad I managed through 7th grade. I hope 8th grade will be somewhat different. The beginning of 8th grade isn't so hard. We have a new housemaster. He's called Richard. He seems pretty nice. He's younger than my previous ones, and he's one of the only guy teachers I've ever had. I think he understands me better. We have biology now, and I absolutely hate it, as if history wasn't enough. We have to remember different parts of living creatures, and I don't understand why. I would much rather draw instead of reciting what the powerhouse of the cell is called. The first half of that year is fine, though. It's better than 7th, in my opinion. This school's Halloween dance is super fun. Some of the spider webs they put on the walls as decorations stayed there until February. I think I'm falling behind a bit in biology, though. I was willing to study at the beginning of the year, but ever since I got a cell phone, I stopped putting as much time into it. Seriously, there are so many things I can do on my phone that are so much more productive than biology classes. This year's biology test was huge, and they told us we'd have to prepare for it a lot because it's a precedent for next year's final chemistry and biology test. Well, I got a C-. My report card is like some unfunny joke. I have an A or an A+ in almost everything, but a big fat B- in history and a C in biology. My mom's upset because I probably could have gotten more. 9th grade is just annoying. As they told us before, we now have chemistry and biology in one class. That's like hell squared. It's not even New Year's yet, and my biology teacher caught me drawing 5 times. I used to fear to go to school, but now I feel awesome. I mean, my grades might not be as good, but they're just numbers and letters on paper. I feel more comfortable in school. My mom and my old friends aren't as happy. Eventually, though, as it nears summer and the end of middle school, I know I have to get back to studying. My friends are nice. They help me study even though I haven't helped them in a while. If I don't get a good grade in this chemistry-biology test, I'll be in big trouble. It's hard to write with my broken hand, especially since it was my good one. But Richard said he'll allow me to use my laptop in class for the rest of the year. I study so much in the final days. I stayed up the whole last night studying for it. Finally, the test is over. A week later, we have the results. And it's a B+. I absolutely destroyed chemistry and biology. It's so fun to know I won't have to study this again unless I choose it in high school. I definitely won't, though. We're now starting 10th grade. I like that we don't have biology anymore, and thankfully, history is much easier. I feel like a lot of last year's stress will be gone this year, which is awesome. Let me just say this. The kids in high school are nuts. Our class seemed fine when we first got it. It had a small wooden closet for kids who've yet to get their lockers to put their books. Within the first week, a few kids disassembled one wooden wall of that closet and started writing jokes on it. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's now wide open on one side. Now that I'm in high school, I can go to the Halloween prom. It's better than what we had in middle school. This time, they put a lot of effort into making our building feel spooky. One day, a guy dressed up as a skeleton and ran through classes. I heard he got called to the principal's office, but didn't have any other clothes, so his parents took him home in that costume. We have 3 major tests this year. They're each 30% of our final grade. 1 in math, easy. 1 in physics, not so easy. And finally, 1 in history, the worst. My math test is supposed to be more complicated than the other kids because I'm in a special class. But so far, it seems pretty easy. Physics can be confusing, but it's mostly equations. As far as history, I do what I did every year, which is reciting things 1,000 times until I remember them. Finally, I managed to get a good grade on all of these tests. Each year, the school does this end of the year party for each class. It's very fun. They get pizza for the whole class, and we watch a movie, then have a mini party. I know 11th grade is hard, but I feel ready to roam. 10th grade was good. We have 4 tests this time around, same 3 as last year, with the addition of English. I like writing, but I don't like English class. It feels useless. I hope I can get through this test because there's a lot to remember. In our first English test, I studied a lot, so I got an A+. But now that this thing happened with my dad, I don't study that much. I don't feel like studying at all. I think it's going to take a toll on my grades, but I can't get myself to sit and recite things that don't help me whatsoever. What good is there to study physics, history, and even math? I know I'm not going to use any of it in my life. I want to draw, but there's no classes for that. The 4 tests go awful, but my mom pulled some strings so that it won't affect me too much in my last year of high school. I didn't go to this year's last day with the party and the pizza and everything. I didn't even get my report card in school like everybody else. I stayed home and they mailed it to us. After summer, I feel a little better. There's just one more year of all of this. Then I can go to college. I know I need to maintain good grades if I want to get that scholarship, so I study a lot as well. Mostly alone though. Well, I guess things haven't totally worked out the way I wanted in school, but the last year is better. Things are looking up, and I'm hoping for a better time in college. There's just one final test to go through. Then I can go on my way. And that's it. I finally finished the 12th grade with an excellent level grades badge, according to my report card. I know I should feel a sense of accomplishment, but frankly, I just feel like a huge weight was put off my shoulders. It's time to move on. I finished school. All of it. Feels good to say that.
Okay. Das war eine Menge Text. Das war ihre gesamte Schulzeit. Sie ist ein sehr, sehr kluges Mädchen geworden, muss man ja sagen, weil sie ist ja jetzt erst 10. Und ein sehr schlaues Mädchen, außer in Chemie, obwohl die Noten waren ja nun wirklich gut, auch in Chemie und Biologie. Und irgendwas ist mit ihrem Vater passiert in der Zwischenzeit, in den Jahren. Okay. Wir erleben also ihre Tagebucheinträge in ihrer gesamten, ja, ich glaube, es sind 8 Jahre oder so gewesen. Die sie noch nicht geschrieben hat. Und wir gehen weiter durch ihren Traum. Und alles, was sie wollte, war zeichnen. Und es ist immer noch so schön. So, wir haben Urlaube und Mobbing. Ich glaube, wir nehmen erst das Positive. Wir nehmen die Urlaube. Wir gehen da entlang. Das sind also Erinnerungen, die sie noch nicht hat eigentlich, die vielleicht in ihrem Leben widerfahren werden oder können. Man weiß es nicht. Aber wir gehen weiter den Weg unter dem Sternenhimmel und folgen der Milchstraße und sehen, wohin sie uns führt. Vor uns das weite Meer. Und wir träumen. Und schlafen und träumen. Und was ist hier? Eine Ruine. Mit einer sehr schönen Engelsstatue. Oh, es ist so schön. Und wir folgen weiter unserem Weg. Und hier sind die Urlaube.
I like traveling, I think. My mom told me that when I was younger, I always screamed to go home whenever we were out for more than a day. I don't remember it. It was probably when I was like 3. Last year, during summertime, we took a trip to Niagara Falls. It's a few hours away from Stratford, so we packed a bunch of food and left early in the morning. I loved the car ride because Grandma was with us and she played board games with me. The Niagara Falls themselves were pretty cool. I remember seeing pictures of them in class, so it would be pretty nice to come back and brag about actually being there. The water falling down was so weird. If you followed them with your eyes, you could almost imagine it as massive piles of sand falling down one after another. When I was little, we used to go on vacation almost every summer, even if not big. We do it less often now, probably because of my dad's constant deployments. This year, at the beginning of 5th grade, my dad said he'll be able to come back for a whole month and a half. So, we planned out a vacation in Germany for 1 week. Germany! This is like 1 billion kilometers away. We can't drive there because there's an ocean in between. We'll go on an airplane, and it's the first time I've ever been in one. I can't understand how my mom and dad just fell asleep during the flight. All I'm doing is looking out the window. How does this thing even stay up? It's huge! My mom told me it's much faster than a car. I heard a few kids crying in the back because they were scared. I think my mom and dad were worried I'd be scared too. I'm actually having fun. I like being in an airplane. Our trip to Germany is awesome. We landed in Berlin, which is the capital city. We visited so many shops in different places. We saw a wall filled with graffiti, and I wanted to draw something on there too, but my dad said I couldn't. Now, on the 3rd day, we're going to Cologne. My mom said that we'll visit the chocolate factory here, and I can't wait. We only did it on our 3rd day here, and it's so much fun. We have a tour around the place, and every time we reach a new section, our tour guide lets us eat 1 chocolate candy. They showed us how to make the chocolate into these shapes, and it's super interesting. Finally, we visited Munich. We saw a bunch of churches and a huge palace. My mom said that once kings used to live there. My dad wanted to go see a car museum, so we drove together over there. It was a lot of fun, but kind of boring eventually. I think this trip has taught me a bit of German too. I heard people talking in German all around, and saw some signs with both English and German writings, so it helped me practice. Now that I'm back, I keep bugging my friend Emma with all these new words I learned. I enjoyed this vacation a lot. Now that I turned 15, we're finally going on another big vacation soon. My dad will meet my mom and me in Arizona, and we'll go see the Grand Canyon. I'm really excited because we saw pictures of it in school once, and I've always wanted to visit it. The flight is long, over 6 hours to be precise. I was still excited about going on a plane, even though it wasn't as fun as I remembered it. My mom slept through it, and I thought about doing the same, but I ended up just drawing a bunch and watching a movie on my phone. We just landed, so we're going to the hotel now. My dad is late and will only land tomorrow when we plan to go to the Grand Canyon, so we decided we'll meet each other there. We talked a lot on the phone, and I can't wait to see him. Finally, today, when we went to the Grand Canyon, we met him and had a great time together. The Grand Canyon is enormous. It's so long and wide. I can't believe this thing is even real. I took a ton of photos on my cell phone. The next day, my dad said we'll have a fun day together. We watched a movie and then went to a karting place downtown and did a few laps. We also found a local horse race, and my dad gave me $20 for gambling. I put it all on one rider, which definitely wasn't the most favorable. So the return would be 3 times the bet. And it won! I got back $60 and we went shopping with it. My dad added another $60 and I bought a sweet dress. Aside from the Grand Canyon, the whole trip was so much fun. I almost didn't want to go back. I could talk to my friends on the phone, although mainly through chatting. I told them all about this place, and they told me I have to bring gifts back. I knew they were half joking, but I looked around for something nice, and we bought a few packs of Arizona chocolate to bring back. My dad got a call halfway through the vacation saying that he has to go back to work, so he won't come back to Stratford with us. I was upset, but on the last day, we had a perfect time together. This vacation was the most fun I've ever had, and I can't wait to do this again. Unfortunately, I don't think my mom can afford any more trips on her own. And after what happened with my dad, I doubt I'll ever have fun going on a family vacation again. I kind of miss it though. Now I know that vacations are more than just get-togethers with your family. I used to like the attractions, but now I know that I need some peace and quiet now and then. And that's what vacations are here to provide. It's funny how I feel so changed. But at the end of the day, I still enjoyed vacations, and I still enjoy them now. And I can't wait to see what future ones will bring.
Ja, der Vater war vielleicht Soldat wegen Einsätze und so und ist vielleicht umgekommen, fürchte ich. Also irgendwas ist auf jeden Fall mit ihm passiert, was sie sehr traurig gemacht hat. Kann jetzt eine Verletzung sein, das kann was Schlimmeres sein. Wir werden es vielleicht erfahren auf unserem Weg weiter durch das Sternenmeer zum Leuchtturm hinauf. Und ja, ich war auch schon mal im Kölner Schokoladenmuseum. Die Urlaube in der Kindheit, auf dem Weg zum Erwachsenwerden, Erinnerungen, die meistens schön sind und die man immer im Herzen trägt. So, hier ist ein Leuchtturm, da gehen wir gleich mal hin. Ich sehe da nämlich was. Was haben wir denn hier auf dem Weiser? Mobbing geht in die Richtung und hier geht es Richtung Handy. Was war das? Handy? Richtung Handy, anscheinend auch eine sehr wichtige Erinnerung. Was ist das da? Achso, nur eine Baumplatz. Und wir nehmen uns die Zeit und entschleunigen und lassen dieses wunderschöne Spiel auf uns wirken. Und jetzt schauen wir uns mal das Handy an. Alter Schwede, ist das schön. Handy, ist die Tür hier, kann man, nein, die Türe ist nicht begehbar, alles klar, es hätte ja sein können, man kann es ja mal versuchen. Und bereit für den nächsten Text, das Handy.
I think the first time I saw a mobile phone was last year. Our teacher got a phone call during one of the classes, and a funny tune started playing around the class. We all asked her what it was, and she said it was a cell phone. During the break, one of the girls told us her dad owns one too. We have a phone at home, but I never really see the use of a mobile one. My mom doesn't either. If someone needs me, they can just call home or talk to me. But, well, nobody really needs me either. I always thought mobile phones were supposed to be for busy adults only. I see some people on the street using them, usually people wearing suits and carrying brown bags. But today at school, I saw one of the girls playing with one of them. I wanted to ask her how and why she has it, but she was a part of Charlotte's group. Instead, I talked to my friends, Emma and Lucy. Apparently, they both really want a cell phone. I don't get them. We're just in 7th grade. Why should we need something like that on us all the time? But maybe there's more to it than I see. I think people are kind of addicted to it. Tom just got a cell phone recently, and we've been stealing it from him to play games every chance we get. It can be pretty fun. Finally, my mom gave me my own cell phone. It's right after summer, and I'm now 13. She said it's only for emergencies. It's pretty crap. It has buttons, which is weird because I saw a ton of ads for glass phones with no buttons. Still, I managed to install some games on it. And Emma and I take turns playing this funny ball game. You have to steer the ball into the holes so that it doesn't get pushed back. Most other girls have cell phones too, but they're pretty weird about it. All they do is write. I'm not sure why. Sometimes I think they write to each other, even if they're standing right next to one another. Emma, Lucy, and I secretly laugh at them. that kind of miscommunication can be pretty funny. However, I kind of get what they're doing now. I think I first realized it after someone called me an idiot over text messages. It was listed unknown. They like to send messages constantly, even more so than meet up after school. I downloaded this app everyone's been using, and I saw Charlotte's profile there. I added her as a friend. I think Charlotte and I's relationship is pretty much grounded in the fact that we both have cell phones. We talk on the app all the time. There are other girls there too, so I think I'm making new friends. Emma and Lucy don't have the app. I tried to get them to download it, but they don't like it. Still, it's pretty fun to me. It feels like you can say anything you want, and nobody cares. I see Charlotte commenting on other people's profiles all the time, even if she doesn't know them. I'm not sure if that's bad. Charlotte and her friends seem to throw around words pretty carelessly, but they're pretty dumb, so I don't think I should take their behavior as a good example. Still, I tolerate it. Some people think I'm a jerk for doing even that, but they're my friends, so I have to live with it. I'm almost done with 9th grade now, and I think the whole cell phone craze is fading out. I stopped hanging out with Charlotte, so that probably eliminated any chance I had to get online popularity. I'm not upset though. I still use my phone for games, and I talk with my friends on it all the time. I hope to be over with my social media phase. It was all just a big pile of crap, and I would love to forget about it. In summer, I broke my phone accidentally by dropping it when biking. My mom wasn't too upset, probably because that phone costed less than what I eat in a day. She bought me a new one. This one has a touchscreen and a bunch more options. It's still nowhere as advanced as the ones that other girls have, but I don't care anymore. It's more than enough for me. Now, in high school, I find myself being much more productive with my cell phone. Since I'm doing more senior levels of math, I downloaded a few apps to help me with that. One of them draws every function I set, which is a huge help. The other solves most of the simple equations I have, or at least sums them up to a bearable form. I think my teacher would probably not like the fact that I'm using my phone to solve easy things like these. I also use it to do what it was supposed to do in the first place, communicate. I talk with my friends all the time, and my mom can reach me in a second, any day of the week. It's also somewhat relieving by giving me a sense of safety, I guess, like I'm never alone. All in all, now I can't see myself living without a cell phone. I used to think it wasn't so important when I was young, and just a year or two ago, I was using it constantly for the wrong reasons. Now, I know what it's really meant for, and I'm happy with what I have. The world has gone online. I know that. That doesn't mean I have to be on social media for so long, or hurt my friends. It just means I'll work with it how I want. And now I know how to do so.
Die Welt ist online gegangen. Ein Satz, der alles umfasst, was man darunter versteht. Und ja, ich komme auch noch aus einer Generation, als ich noch kleiner war, wo es auch noch keine Handys gab. Und ich muss sagen, ich bin so unendlich froh, so aufgewachsen zu sein. Ich weiß, das Handy gehört heute dazu, zu allem. Und wahrscheinlich guckt sich der ein oder andere vielleicht dieses Video sogar gerade auf einem Handy an. Trotzdem finde ich, dass das Handy sehr, sehr, sehr viel zerstört. Im Sozialen, in allem. Die Menschen reden nicht mehr miteinander. Die Menschen sitzen in Cafés gegenüber und reden nicht miteinander. Jeder starrt auf sein Handy. Niemand nimmt seine Umwelt wahr. Und selbst wenn jetzt über ihnen solch ein Sternenhimmel ist, glaube ich, dass viele das nicht mehr sehen. Und das ist schade und das darf nicht passieren. Und durch so etwas passiert auch sehr viel so etwas. Nicht immer, aber es ist nicht unschuldig daran. Und wir gehen in die Richtung Mobbing,